I can see some little babies over there. Now, can you see the clay pipe camouflaged just down there? And zoom in. There it is. Let's go and take a closer look. Here it is. This looks like an interesting little spot just here. I can see this here. Can you see it just there? Let's have a look and see what's underneath on the other side. Oh, it's like a little face. It's like a little devil. That's weird. Oh my, how spooky. Oh, that is a bit scary. It's like a little demonic face. Wow, I've never seen anything like that before. Okay. Now, what else is there here? I can see a coin. Let's see what it is. That is a halfpenny, I think. I can't quite see when it's from. It's a little bit bent out of shape, but it looks like... okay, I'll have to give it a closer look afterwards. So that's that. And there's a square piece of metal here, but that's got nothing on it. Oh, very interesting. I'm still a little bit perturbed by the demonic face. I've just spotted what looks pretty interesting. Some form of badge or something just here. It's a bit crusty. I wonder what it is. Let's have a look. Maybe it's that way up. Oh my gosh. Don't you love it when you find interesting things like this? It's got a horse on it and a crown and some writing. But it needs a little clean before we can see what it says. It's another one that's going to need some research. Unfortunately, I didn't bring a toothbrush with me this time, so I can't really clean it off, and I don't want to damage it, so it'll have to wait till I get home. But it's definitely a horse and a crown and some lettering. this is very exciting. Can you see over there what I'm looking at? Can you see? Okay, I'm going to zoom in. It is just there. Now from a distance it looks like a clay pipe, but it looks quite intact. It looks like it's got one of those scaly designs on it. So I'm going to go over and investigate now. Oh, look at this. Oh, look at that. Right, I'm just going to go back and get my trowel. I don't want to risk breaking it. Okay, I've got my trowel. And look, you can even see that we're going to be able to see who made this pipe, because I can see some letters there. Oh, this is exciting. Oh, let's hope that it's intact. Let's hope it's intact. I found a few bowls with this design on, but I haven't found a whole pipe. Wow, that is extraordinary, and it's got this beautiful scaly pattern on it. Now somebody suggested it might be a fir cone. That could be the case. Right, I need to give it a wash. I've now cleaned it off and it is absolutely stunning. Look at that beautiful scaly bowl, and on the side is the name J. Birchall, and on the other side it's got the place where it was made. As I said, in the mid-19th century, pipe makers put their names on one side and where it was made on the other, and this one was made in Deptford, so he would have been a Deptford pipe maker. Just look at that. I'm just going to linger on it for a moment. Stunning. As you know, I love pieces of metal with lettering on it, and this is tiny, very tiny, and I'm sure we won't find out the meaning of it, but I thought I'd show you it anyway. It's got BBX9, and it's just a tiny piece of metal. BBX9. This looks interesting. It looks like part of something, doesn't it? That there. So let's see what it is. It might be nothing, obviously. It might be nothing at all. Oh. It's a squashed something. Probably a squashed lamp. Let's have a look. Yeah, it looks like the top of a squashed lamp. But perhaps I can operate on it later. Now what's this? When I first saw it, I thought it was a washer. But it looks more like a ring, and it has got something on it. I'm going to take that home and have a closer look. It looks like there's a Bible verse on there. What's this? Looks like it could be a message in a bottle, or maybe several messages in a bottle. There's some writing there. Exciting. Well, I'll take it back to the studio to open it up there. Oh dear. Not really what you want to find when you're going for a walk on the foreshore, is it? Hi everyone, welcome to my studio. I'm back here now with my array of, let's say, curiosities that came out of the Thames and which were featured on today's video. Now there's a strange selection of objects, I know. Don't forget that I am using footage that I've had for a long time, and I've been using it up during this lockdown period, and I must admit I'm getting to the end of that footage now, and we're soon going to be doing videos all about never-ending bottle stoppers. Literally scraping the bottom of the barrel of my files, my footage files in reserve. So I'm hoping the sludge is going to go soon so that I can get back out onto the Thames to find some really interesting objects. But even though it's a strange array of things, there are some really interesting bits and pieces here. And starting with this REME cat badge. This little cat badge here with the King's crown on it comes from the Royal Electrical and Mechanical Engineers, which were formed in 1942 to look after the equipment and the weapons and the vehicles of the British Army. So it's part of the British Army Corps. And I thought I would take a trip to Woolwich Cemetery to go and see the Commonwealth war graves to see if I could find anybody that had actually served in the REME. Hi everyone, I always think it adds a bit of extra meaning if you can link something that you found in the river to somebody who is real, somebody who existed. And so I wanted to see if I could find anybody who belonged to the Royal Electrical and Mechanical Engineering Corps. So I've come to Woolwich Cemetery, and the person who was doing the garden, very kind person, pointed me in the direction of the World War II Commonwealth graves. So I'm going to go over there and see if there's anybody who is in the REME. So here we've got the Royal Artillery, but oh my goodness, look what we've got here. Now that is the REME. Now that's a Queen's crown, so it's a little more recent. But it's a DJ Bowen. Died 9th July 1977, age 51. So that's quite recent. But there it is, very much like the cat badge, the chained horse there. So here we can see that the symbol is a lot more recent because it has a Queen's badge. And actually, let's have a closer look at this symbol. It's a horse which is attached by a chain from a coronet of fleur-de-lis around its neck, which goes down to a globe. So the horse, which is chained, stands for power under control. And then there's a flash of lightning in the background there, which stands for the electrical engineering, and the globe stands for the worldwide role of the REME. Now, I've just found another person who was in the REME. Here we are. It is a Kenneth Kendall, 23rd of July 1956, aged 26. So I'll have to try and find out a little bit about these people. So even though DJ Bowen and Kenneth Kendall served later than the person who would have worn this cap badge, which is World War II era, it was really special to discover their graves amongst the Commonwealth war graves and to read their names and think about what they might have done. And I know that the REME still play a vital role in the British Army today. So now I'm going to go through the other objects which are here next to me. So let's start with the one which featured first on the video, and this is really unusual. It's the only clay pipe bowl which I've ever found like this. It's completely black and it looks as if it's supposed to be a tulip or a flower design. I'm really not sure, but I've never found a pipe like this before and I've never found one since. So it's really rather special. I'm not quite sure what it's made out of. I mean, clay presumably, but not quite sure if it's just a pigment that's in the clay or whether it's a different type of clay. Of course, if you know anything about any of these finds and you have any information that you'd like to share, then please do. For instance, if you know how these pipes were made in this colour, then I'd be very happy to know. I will be looking it up and doing a bit more research, but so far I haven't actually found anything to say how they're made. But I do love it. So that is a unique pipe amongst my pipe collection, a little black pipe. So let's go over here to the other pipe which I found, which is here. I love it. You can see where it's been smoked. Look, you can see where it's all charred there in the bowl and around the top of the bowl. And I was delighted to see that it has a maker's mark. It's got J. Birchall on that side and Deptford, where he made it, on that side. Now, clay pipe makers started to put their name and the place they made their pipes round about the mid-19th century, so we know it's mid-19th century. And when I looked up J. Birchall, I did indeed come across Joseph Birchall from Deptford, who was born in 1821. And he was described as a tobacco pipe maker. So I was very pleased to find that, but then it got a bit confusing then, because there's actually several Birchalls who were pipe makers, and there's even another Joseph who was born in 1836, and he is also a clay pipe maker from Deptford. So I'm not sure which Joseph it was, but he definitely lived in Deptford, so it was one of those two anyway, either the one born in 1821 or the one born in 1836. And I do have another one, exactly the same, also made by J. Birchall of Deptford. I often refer to this design as scaly, almost like fish scales, but I think that it's supposed to be a pine cone type design. But whatever it is, I really like it. It's just another really imaginative design. Now let's move on to this curious little chap here who, I must admit, when I first saw it I thought he looked a bit demonic and a bit scary. Having done a little bit of research, I think he may have a link to the Boy Scouts, and it could be the little Boy Scout wolf that would have come off of a Boy Scout pin or a badge, but maybe somebody out there knows if that is correct. This ring here, obviously pretty modern and probably thrown in the river deliberately, I think. It has the the rosary prayer on it, the Hail Mary prayer engraved all around the ring. We've got this rather squashed and and obviously not usable, but once in a previous life it would have been a rather beautiful masthead ship's lamp. So at some point I will polish it up and see if I can incorporate it into a collage. Somehow or other it ended up squashed in the mud, but you can see from that at one time it was a beautiful lamp sitting on a ship. What else have we got? We have got this skull. Now I do have a collection of skulls that I've found in the River Thames or along the estuary. I think that this one is a cat skull. I'd love to know how old it is. It does look pretty old to me, but I'm not about to send it off to get it tested. But I have a feeling that it's probably at least 100 years old. This is a good opportunity to show you some of my other skulls. Of course, there's my horse skull there. One of my favourites, one of my largest. But up here on my shelves I do have a couple of porpoise skulls there, which were washed up along the Thames estuary. I've also got several seabird skulls. There's something so delicate about them. And here is another cat skull, I think. And it looks a little more recent than this one. But you see they look very similar, don't they? So if there's any skull experts out there, if you could just confirm to me that these are cat skulls, that would be great. I've also got this one here, which a friend actually gave me when they found it in the Thames mud. And I think that this one is a tiny dog. Again, that looks pretty old. And this one, which I think is a fox. And I've got a dog there. Gosh, actually I didn't realise quite how many skulls I had. So I think, oh, there's another one over here, look. Another dog skull. So yeah, a few skulls for the skull collection, and indeed this is the one that was in today's video. And what else have we got? Oh yes, now okay, now we're going to go over to the message in a bottle. Now I do have a lot of messages in bottles. I must have about 130 that I found in the River Thames over time. I don't always keep them. If they are very personal letters or if it's saying goodbye to somebody, I will put them back in the river to carry on their journey. But I have kept some of them. To be honest, I don't really want to leave plastic bottles floating around in the water anyway. I don't know what these say. I think it's Romanian, possibly. Many of them are the same. And I think they're to do with love, declarations of love or something. Or I don't know, they might be little spells, or it may be some kind of little ritual. I don't know. But if you know what they say, I'll be very happy for you to tell me. So a real sort of bundle collection of messages in this one bottle. Sometime I will do a video about my other messages in bottles, which I have in a file here in my studio. So I don't think I've forgotten anything. And oh gosh, I forgot to mention the doll. The doll that I found right at the end. Well, I didn't actually keep that doll because unfortunately my Thames orphanage is full at the moment. But I did pick her up and put her somewhere very safe, where hopefully somebody else found her and would have taken her away to look after her. So thanks again for watching, everyone, and if you do have any additional information that you'd like to share, then please write it in the comments below. And thanks as always for all your comments, suggestions, feedback and ideas on my previous videos. I'm always really happy to hear them And I've learned such a lot from all your expertise and your ideas, so keep them coming, and thanks again. And I'd like to give a really big shout out this week as well to all the mini mudlarks out there, all the children who've been getting excited, searching for history and discovering little fragments of the past in streams and rivers and even in their garden. It's really inspiring to see people so inspired, so please keep up the good work. And I thought I would leave you with some footage of something I discovered just outside my window a couple of weeks ago. Since then, I've been having a great time watching a little family of blue tits fledge the nest. Now, they've all gone now, and they're all very healthy. I think each and every one of them survived, and they've all flown away. But I thought you might like to see the moment I discovered this little tiny family of blue tits just outside. So have a great week, everyone, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you again very soon. Take care, and that's all from me for now. So over to the blue tits. I've been busy making glass fish this week, and as I've been working, I noticed this little sort of coming and going, very frequent coming and going of these little blue tits outside, and I thought there must be a nest. So I couldn't resist a sneak peek. So I'm just going to show you what I saw. I only stayed there for literally a minute. And these birds, they're so busy bringing food to their babies.